Hello everybody, how are you? This is Andrea, and in this video I will show you how I put together my newest watercolor palette. A while ago I asked you if you'd like to see the behind the scenes of creating a custom palette, and so many of you said yes, so here is the video. Alright, so first of all, here is my Holbein watercolor set. There are 108 colors altogether, and they come in small 5ml tubes. You may think that 5ml is very little, but believe me, these will probably last me for a very long time. They look so cute in the box, but keeping them like that is just not practical to me. I don't want to constantly open the tube and risk to dry out the paint while in the tube. Also, while it is nice to have the official color chart, it is not 100% accurate. Plus, it is a little bit too big and awkward to handle. So basically, it would be just better to make my own chart. Last but not least, I would like to create a couple of different palettes. I want to create one that has all 108 colors, then one that has maybe 50 colors so that it is less bulky, and then maybe one that has 15 to 20 colors for those times when I want to go to a coffee shop and just paint something simple for fun while enjoying some tea. So today I will show you how I created the 48 color palette. Before we can create a palette, we need to get to know all the colors at our disposal. So grab your watercolor pad or whichever type of paper you plan to use the most. Then you will need a brush, 2 cups of water, some little disposable plastic plates, and a clean towel just to ensure that the brushes are thoroughly cleaned after each color. So what I'm doing here is I am creating swatches for all of the colors. I firstly draw a square with the undiluted paint, that way I see clearly how the paint looks concentrated, and then I create a rectangle below the square where I paint a gradient to show how the paint changes with water. The rectangle is so very important as a reference because some colors just blend easier and more smoothly than others, some may have more granulation, which may or may not bother you, and so on. This process will take quite a while since there is a ton of colors to go through, and after each one you need to clean your brush really well so that you don't contaminate the following colors. When you're done painting, it is time to mark the colors, so I write the name and number of each of them. Now I grab some scissors and cut them out. This is quite a bit of work, isn't it? Alright, at this point I sort them into groups. It will be easier to pick my favorites that way. Then you will need to know the size of the palette that you're making. In my case, it will be a 48 color palette. So after a lot of thinking and moving the swatches around, I narrowed my selection down to this. What kind of colors you pick all depends on the type of work that you do, so there is no right or wrong color palette. You could easily make a palette that only includes blues, and that is totally fine. There is plenty of people who specialize in monochromatic work. So what I'm trying to say is that just don't stress about it, do what feels right to you and stay true and honest to what you like. Now it is time to bring out the bad boy, the palette. It is a very simple, empty team palette that holds up to 48 half pans. If you're interested in getting one for yourself, I will leave links to the stores in the description box. So this palette has 2 compartments to mix colors, which is perfect because I need one side to hold my reference swatches and the other side would be for mixing. Now I grab a permanent marker and write the number of each color that I plan to have in this set. This is so that if I run out of that specific color, I can easily take the pen out and will know exactly which tube I need to refill it with. Alright, now it is time to fill these pens. This is probably my favorite part of the process. After I filled up all the pens, I like to create a little dip in the middle of the paint. That way, when I am activating the colors again, the water will stay neatly in the middle instead of all around the edges. Okay, so the pens were moving a little bit too much all around and it was really difficult to keep things in focus, so I decided to add the pens to the palette and then I continued making the dips. We're almost done, guys. All that I need to do is to make the reference swatches to keep within the palette. So I cut a piece of watercolor paper that will fit nicely, and now let's paint some swatches. And this is it, guys. Here is my complete custom palette. This was such a time-consuming process, but it was totally worth it. But yeah, this is all I have for today. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, comment and share. Thank you so much for watching. Take care and I'll talk to you again next week. Bye!